No, I don't need, no, I'll stand on the
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. Need to stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This one.
Scares me, this slide back. Okay, need a roll call?
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr.
Will you open
Cole?
the meeting, please?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Today's meeting is for the Morgan Township Trustee, November 25th, 2024.
7 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Thank you, Dale. Okay, now approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the Morgan Township Board of Trustee minutes dated November the 13th, 2024, as written.
Second.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Huff? Motion approved.
Okay. Next we'll go to Mark. To the fire
Let's do the
department.
minute, let's do
Gotta do
the warrants.
Oh, you didn't do the warrants. Approve the warrants?
I'll make a motion to approve the payment listing from 11/14/2024 through 11/25/2024. Payment number 991-2024 through 1026-2024. And warrant number 12950 through 12961 for a total of $148,791.14.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Reason it's so high, we paid our insurance to Highland for $36,496, and we've made a payment to LCMB for $35,182. So that is a little higher than normal. So, okay.
Okay. Now, Mark?
Unless anybody has any questions or concerns for me, I have nothing to report.
Thanks, Chief.
Jeff's not, yeah, here. Okay, on the park, do we have anything on the park?
We got a lot on the park.
Oh.
Let's see. We found out that we have 29.
Hold on, let's start for one thing first.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to rescind resolution number 188-2024 to approve purchasing a 16 by 20 pavilion structure from Backyard Solutions, Weaver Barnes, from Harrison, Ohio, in the amount of $19,700 to be paid for by the Rumpke donation from the Hamilton Community Foundation.
Second.
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Stage is all yours now.
Okay. While we're on motions, I need a motion approved for a PO for Uline for the amount of $5,057.78. This is going to be for benches for the park, total of 9 of them.
9.
$5,000 of that money will be reimbursed from Metro Parks. That grant was written for benches only, so that's all we could buy with it. If we get something like this in the future, we can mix items in there. We just have to spell it out.
What style of benches did you?
It's perforated metal with a plastic coating on it. They'll be mounted in the ground.
Okay.
Did
So
you
people
send us
can't
a
move on.
picture of it?
I don't know, but I can get you one.
I thought I did. I thought I'd seen one, yeah. Okay.
I don't know if I did or not, but
So
I
we'll-
can get you one tonight.
Yeah. So will we pour a concrete pad
Yep.
and then? they
Mark
will-
and his guys will be putting it in.
Okay.
And we
Well,
got
you won't need a pad. They actually go in like posts,
Yeah,
right?
they'll go in columns, or, we'll pour concrete columns and they'll sit in that.
Okay.
Okay, you don't have to pour a slab. It'll just be
So
round holes.
wherever we pour them, they'll stay there.
Correct.
Yes.
I mean, they
Correct.
could be moved, but, right,
With a piece of equipment.
yeah, oh, okay.
But we don't want citizens moving them.
Okay,
So we'll figure out where we're gonna put them, but we were able to buy 9 with this PO.
That's great. I didn't think we'd
Yeah.
get that many.
Will we get the money from Metro Parks as soon as we place the order and receive it, or do they have to be installed?
And pictures sent.
Okay.
So moved.
So we need that, and then
Well, go ahead. That's one purchase order.
he moved on that, so.
I'll second it.
Okay, I need another one
Wait, you gotta
for
make it official.
a PO for,
Oh, hold
Yeah,
on.
we got a motion and we got a second.
Yeah, go ahead and
Okay.
do a roll
oh,
call.
I'm sorry.
Okay, Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay,
And that money, I didn't say, would initially come out of the 1,000 fund. And it'll be reimbursed from Metro Parks.
right, once we get them, because we've got the grant, but we don't have the funds till we can show
Correct.
that it's been
Until
done.
it's installed. I need another motion for a PO for Uline for the amount of $3,855.53. This will come out of the ARPA Fund 2273 for the purchase of waste management issues for the Morgan Township Community Park. Includes garbage cans and dog waste systems.
So moved.
Okay, let me ask, how
Oh.
many containers did you get?
I didn't get any yet, but we got quoted for, I want to say 5, but hang on a second.
Okay, so that's fine. One's not enough, 10's too many, but 5 sounds like it's about right.
4.
Sound even.
Four
still sounds
trash
good.
cans, 2 dog waste systems.
One at each entrance, or
Yeah,
basically,
we'll figure it out.
okay.
So moved.
They come with a post to mount them and all that.
Second,
Mr. Huff?
Yeah.
They
Mr.
will-
Cole?
yes.
Mr. Brooker?
Yes.
Motion approved.
They will match the benches, the perforated metal with plastic coating on them. We lean towards green, but if you guys want black, red, purple, yellow, state it, but if not, they're gonna be green.
Have you seen any of those around that, or the type of material they're made out of? I'm just, that
Yeah.
stuff will last forever, won't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be way maintenance free for
Yeah, right.
whoever's gonna take
The
care of
nice
the
thing
park.
is it doesn't get hot. If it's in the baking sun, it doesn't get hot.
And we got bonnets
Yeah.
on them to keep raccoons and squirrels out of them in rain and all that.
Okay.
So I'll show you guys. I'll get the catalog out and show you. All right, well, that took longer than I thought. So, okay, we found out we have $29,000 in ARPA money left. That has to be spent by the end of the year, or allocated, not 100% spent, but POs, contracts have to be written on it. Tina can explain more on that.
Yeah, I gave you guys like a little synopsis that I wrote. Basically, the $5,000 not to exceed PO for that gentleman to come out and watch them put the playground
The
equipment in
inspection
or
for the
whatever.
playground.
It has to be an exact amount.
Can't be like an
If
open PO.
we keep that PO, we're gonna have to rescind that one too. If we keep that PO and say it only costs $2,500 has to go back. We have to pay it back. Anything that is not what they're now saying legally encumbered, not just saying we're spending on the park, it has to, and blanket certificates will not work. It has to be a PO to a specific payee.
Project, yeah.
And if that falls through, we can't, if they, for some reason, if we choose someplace and don't get it, the money goes back. After December 31st, it all has to be now what they want to be said as legally encumbered. And they said that, they apologize, they know there's only, because we took a webinar on this, and they said we should have did this in July. We're just now getting to it. I'm like, say what? But yes, if it's not legally encumbered by December 31st, the money has to go back. If any of your POs don't work out and say the place goes out of business, you have to send the money back. You cannot change it after December 31st. It has to be used by the end of 2026, but it has to be legally encumbered by this December 31st.
So that is the money that we were going to pay for the inspection on the
Yes.
playground.
I think we need to,
I'll rescind this one right here.
yes.
All right, I'll make a motion to rescind Resolution 140-2024 which was to approve a PO of $5,000 not to exceed to Southwest Buckeye Services LLC for the inspection services for the playground from Fund 2273.
So I just need to ask a question. So we had obligated that in anticipation of the playground being presented to us before the new year.
Right.
So that's not gonna happen now. So I guess, I don't,
Yeah,
do we
and-
have any
I've,
update on the?
I have
I've
no
called
clue.
Kalen
Oh.
4 times and got no reply.
Okay, so are we, so we're kind of in a spot now. We can't go forward with that, but we know it's gonna be an obligation sometime in the future. That money's gotta go somewhere else by December 31st.
Yes.
So do we have a place for that money to,
That's what he's talking about.
okay, perfect. So we got a motion,
Yes, I made
and
the
I'll be a
motion.
second?
Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved. I mean, it's unfortunate, but we can't, if we carry it over and it doesn't happen, then we lose the whole $5,000.
Or it was a not to exceed, so if it was 3,000, we'd lose
We
2,000.
lose- Yes.
Okay,
We good?
we're good, press on.
All right. I talked to Kist Electric, told them that there's gonna be a change in what they've already quoted. And he was very receptive and said, no problem, just give me a call when you're ready. I've received some quotes on these commercial pavilions. One is of the heavy timber design, like you see. I sent you guys an email with it, but you see it in other parks. They're glue lam beams, 8 foot on center. You got a 2x6 tongue and groove roof and ceiling, metal roof. Got a price on that, and it was hard to find this company, but comes out of Florida. It's gonna be in the neighborhood of $66,000. We could shave $2,500 off if we go with a shingled roof versus a metal roof. We can save $20,000 if we go with a frame structure, where it would be 6x6s, glue lam beams, scissor trusses 24 inches on center, OSB sheething on the roof, covered with metal. The inside would be done in metal. It'd be very maintenance free. No bees are gonna bother with it, no birds are gonna bother with it. That would save us about 20 grand.
25, I thought.
What's the, are they both,
$20,000. That would
what's the
save us
size of it?
20 by 28.
Both of them are the same.
Correct. The 16 by 20 we thought was too small, and the 20 by 28 it was an option from the company out of Florida that I sent you guys an email on, RCP Shelters. So we're keeping the frame one. We can make that any size we want, but we're keeping it the same size.
So who's
as what was
building that?
Well, I have a quote from a company, Auto, what's his actual name? BT Auto Construction. And I have a second quote coming. I met with a gentleman today that was referred by BT Auto Building LLC. They're out of Oxford. I met with another gentleman today who was recommended by Metro Parks. He's gonna give us a price on the same. I'm just doing that to see if we're in, you know, if this guy's close or.
Do you have
So
a
we have
picture
to
of
have
the
a
one
PO
that was
by
coming in
December
at
31st?
46,000?
No, I don't.
Is it substantially different looking?
There's one up at Voice of America Park.
And that's,
And Tony Carpenter was going up there today and was gonna take some pictures and email them to me.
that's the one?
I even pressed him to get them for me tonight, and he hadn't yet, so.
Okay, but that's the one with this 20,000 off the 66,000
Yeah,
base
yeah.
price?
It'd be
Okay.
framed up, it'd be, pole barn metal like this building here. We could make it match
Yeah,
with a green roof and the tan interior. You know, depending on what look and how much you want to spend. I mean, the other one is more that heavy timber. I like that look, but I get it when we're counting pennies. The metal one will serve this exact same purpose as the heavy timber one. It's just a matter of how it looks.
so the pillars on the side are metal?
No,
There.
the okay. Would be wood, and then everything 8 feet and up would be wrapped
Okay.
in metal.
Are the columns 8 by 8?
6 by 6, and they'd be every 8 feet.
Okay. That sounds kind of what we're probably looking for. If we got a
I think
picture-
it's definitely what we're looking for, but you know, are we ready to take that
Well,
bite?
I think we need to get the other two prices, just see if it comes in. And
Right.
then we got one more meeting, early December, that we can, you know,
Right,
approve the
we need-
PO, and then we
Right, we need to
follow the
write
guidelines.
a
of-
contract on that by what,
end of
next
the year?
meeting, Tina, or
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
This
Just to
upcoming
get-
one, you got two.
just to give you a safety zone?
Yeah.
okay.
So the construction period would be springtime or what?
No, Ben said he could get to it right away. The other guy I met today said he couldn't get to it till February.
Okay. How about,
If we would go with the heavy timber, that's gonna be 6 weeks out. Cause that's the, lead time from the.
Hey,
the,
Darren, what
manufacturer.
kind of foundation are we talking about, like floor?
Well, it would be a poured floor separately,
Okay,
so that's not included in this bid. This is just columns and the structure. After that, we would have to have another approximately $13,000 worth of concrete poured.
that sounds something.
With the sidewalk off of the parking lot, and then a pad that would be, I don't know, 30 by 30.
If we got prices on that,
I do have a price on it, but that was when we were gonna put a structure on top of it. The way this is designed now, the columns would go into the ground first, and then pad would be poured around it. It makes it a little bit more secure. Takes any of that table topping out of it.
okay.
Is that Ben Otto?
Yeah.
I've seen some of his work. He does very good work.
He built Hanover Reserve.
Okay, that's a pretty
The
good
first time.
endorsement. Yeah,
He wasn't able to redo the rebuild when it caught on fire, but he built the original.
how about the concrete? Where are you, right? What, do you have a quote on the
I
concrete?
do have a concrete, but like I said, it had concrete columns poured for when we were gonna put the structure on top.
Right.
So that they won't have to drill the holes and pour all that concrete in there.
Okay.
So that came in at 15,000. I'm guessing it's gonna be a little bit less, maybe close to 13,000.
Okay.
But we got that large walkway. So we have the funds. We're just gonna eat them up.
But that's
And I think we need to start some kind of fundraising
we
campaign.
can't do anything that we don't.
QR code signs out on the trail, hitting up businesses, whatever. But
He's dead.
moving forward, I think that's what we need to focus on.
So,
And we did get 5 bat houses up this week, installed,
okay.
just in time for the bats to go south.
Tina, does that AARP money need to be spent, obligated by December 31st?
Yes, it does.
So we're talking about this 39,000, this 29,000, that's got to be written to somebody in a PO by,
Yes, that we're for sure we're gonna use, because if it falls through, then you still
Yeah.
have to send it back. You can't redo them.
yeah. Okay.
there?
Yeah, did I shock you guys enough?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could,
Yeah, that's
The
it,
numbers
that's it
work
on
out.
parks. I just went in, hit the ground running and wanted to get a good, batch information for you, and I think I provided that to you, and I'll go off your recommendation.
Well, I think follow through with getting the other quotes and the concrete quotes, and then come back and we'll be prepared to do something at the next meeting, first meeting in December.
Okay, and that's December 9th,
Seventh,
7th?
seventh, ninth. I think it's the ninth.
December 9th.
Okay.
and probably you'll have a picture of the structure up at Voice of America
Yes.
for us too, so that'll be good.
If I don't get something back from Tony, I'll go up there myself and take pictures of it. But he said he was gonna get it to me. Let me see if he sent it since I sat here. Nope.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
Darren,
That it?
That's all I got on parks.
good
Okay.
job on the bat houses too.
That's
Mark.
Mark.
Mark?
Mark and his guys did that. I had nothing to do
I'm
with
gonna
it.
go out and see it.
Mark?
Yes.
Thanks, Darren.
Yep.
Like Darren said, we did install 5 bat houses. 4 of them was from the Girl Scouts, then one was more like a nest from Butler County Soil and Water. You'll see them out there along the trail. I've been working with Mr. Gettle down in Shandon, helping him with Christmas in the country. He wants us to bring some traffic cones and put up the radar speed signs for this weekend. Today we did some blacktop repair on North Dwyer. We have all the dump trucks ready for snow and ice. We've been working more when we get time back on the storage lot, I call it, clean it up, make it more presentable. And we did install a gravel path from the walking trail to the corner of the helicopter landing zone for the fire department, so it's easier pushing the stretcher and easier pushing on gravel than as mud. So, and that's all I got. Thank you.
All right.
Any questions? All right. Zoning, Dale, you got anything?
Oh, yeah. All right, your new certificates, 3 of them since the 25th, okay? And everything else too, you'll look on there. Kind of rearranged the page, it was getting to be a lot of information. The last one being an addition to, just an addition and remodel to a detached garage that already existed. There's a deck and a fence. I do have some ideas that we will have a new construction piece come in. I've had a couple of telephone calls on that. I forget exactly, on Hamilton Scipio. Okay, by, if I may mention the name, Mr. Gaines's. I think the lot is very near Mr. Gaines's, okay? Just to mention that. The zoning commission will meet December the 4th. Topics for the meeting to be determined. I will get them eventually. I've been focused on number 3 more than I have on number 2. I received an application for an area variance from Richard Spade concerning a lot split. He is asking to split his current 3 acres into 2 1.5 acres, each having 200 feet of road frontage, but do not meet the 3-acre minimum requirement in the A1 district. This hearing will be held December the 12th here in the admin building at 7 p.m. And I've got almost everything ready to send out, that is necessary to send out. The letters to the neighbors and the packet to the BZA to be able to do it. And that's pretty much happening with that. Any questions on that? He did come in once before in 2004 and asked for the same thing. So it's going to be an interesting one. Number 4, the seller no longer needs to have a lot split at 4479 New London. He's working with the wholesale tire to have most of the land purchased. Howard's Creek Estates was tabled by the sub-review committee to give more time for the engineer's office to look over the plat. And I also sent out a couple of things, and I didn't send them to you guys. I will do that tomorrow. some of the comments that were made by the sub-review committee from the auditor and the health department, et cetera, that continued, but they tabled it there in the sub-review committee. They did not continue it on. I am requesting permission to pre-register and book the hotel for the January OTA conference.
Good by me.
It's fine.
Thank you. And then Darren and I will be attending the Miami Valley Planning Conference on Friday, December the 6th, and we'll be taking the zoning vehicle, so there would be no mileage there. And then we move to the zoning enforcement report.
All right, you guys got your Excel sheet. I'll go down my list here. I did receive a letter back from 5024 Cincinnati Brookville Road, the individual with the dwelling in a B3 zoned area. I haven't yet replied to it. I wrote the letter, I just haven't sent it. But he's claiming that he has a 24-hour business now, and he's also sent a letter referring or referencing the color of the law from Marion County, Ohio. I'm not sure what he means by that, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna send him a letter back saying, we still have our zoning rules. We're not trying to violate your civil rights. We're just trying to maintain our zoning regulations. I did hear back from Marianne Nardiello and Stephen Wagner. We do have a case pending on 2787 Bell Road. Place has 30-plus vehicles on this property. I'm going to go tomorrow to sign and notarize the complaint. Nothing back yet on 6410 Cincinnati Brookville. We got the new zoning certificates that I got to check once they start construction. 7600 Cincinnati Brookville Road is going to come in and fill out the proper paperwork for the barn addition that he did not know he needed to when he built it.
And we'll possibly have to do a BZA hearing, because in doing and adding on to the building, he crossed over the setbacks down to the point where it's not going to meet the current setbacks.
So what's the process if he does go before a BZA, the BZA denies it, then does it go to court? I mean, or do we require him to remove that building?
Well, that's never really happened. My requirements on that is just simply that he comes in and fills out the application for it, okay, to complete it, and then I charge him for that, that addition. At that point, we're in new ground after this, after that time. That's about all I can say about it. I would do the same though. I mean, ask him to go before the BZA. If they deny it, then it's up to him to take it to court. We'll go on. To tear down something, it's not always been done, from what I gather.
Right.
We're in new territory.
Uh, 7575 South Dwyer and 7657 South Dwyer have some Connex box issues and some debris. 7575 was a piece split off from 7657. It's just a 1 acre spot. Her son split it off to give her a place. They're working together to clean it up. I gave them some time. They're going to check in with me monthly on their progress, and I'll drive by occasionally to see their
Are
progress.
they the same people, Darren?
Yeah,
Yes.
Darren, okay.
it's a mother and son.
Yeah, okay, that's
And I'm always following up current cases and accepting new ones. That's all I got.
Mark, Darren, I guess, Tina.
I don't have anything else other than letting you know about the ARPA fund needing to be encumbered, legally encumbered. That's all I have.
What's this?
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted us to split that, start splitting it out or not. That was just an example.
Okay.
I mean,
Alright.
you can wait on it if you want, it's up to you.
When do you need it by?
Just whenever you want it to start. We can't go back.
Right.
We,
So moving forward, let's just talk about it real quick. Moving forward, we do have 3 internal employees now working on the park issues. So instead of their pay, the time that they allot to the park issues coming out of their normal account, fire, road, zoning, Tino just asked if we would want to charge that time for the community, or the community park, to come out of the general fund 1,000 at their normal rate of pay, just so we're not, the time that's spent doesn't come out of zoning, fire, and road department. Can't go back. She said, well, she's not gonna go back, and, because it basically just started up the,
This will be, this for only for a designated period of time while we get this shelter built and get the project completed? Is
Well,
that kind of what how we see this?
I think it should be. I think it should be ongoing, as obviously as the construction gets completed, it's gonna be less and less, but Mark's gonna have time, you know. I mean, the cutting of the grass and that's road maintenance, but, you know, if he's pouring the concrete slabs or something like that, that's not part of his normal routine job task, I think we should put it all in, you know, just, it's gonna be a little more accounting for you guys, but it'll make it cleaner.
yeah.
It'll make it cleaner that, you know, we're not spending money that should be allocated for road and bridges on the park, and fire department on the park, and zoning on the park.
Okay, so we would track, we would have a, we would have a budget number that we would see on the budget.
It'll be
At-
a
at
line
the-
item in Fund
Yeah.
1,000.
So we know how
Line
the money
items.
is getting,
Mhm.
where we are at any point in time on the cost of all of that, so, okay. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
We need to make a motion.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought no taxpayer dollars were supposed to be used for the park.
Well, we got it for maintenance.
Yes, and the park board tried to get you all to determine what the maintenance was gonna be years ago, and we kept hearing, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But no taxpayer dollars were supposed to be used for this park. So now you're saying that you are, or you have been, but now you're actually gonna put it out of the general fund.
Well,
Well, we tried to do it on a volunteer basis. And the volunteer basis, we don't have volunteers, unless we have volunteers that want to be part of this, that would be welcome, but right now, we don't have volunteers that want to take this up. And it has to be done, it has to be accountable to the township. So how do you engage somebody that's the volunteer to be part of the township and take care of something that belongs to the township? That's kind of the situation we're in right now.
we have to pay for it, whether we're, any way you look at it, it's taxpayer money, whether we do it the way we're doing it now, and but it's not fair to take it out of roads, it's not fair to take it, so it's coming out of general fund, and, you know, it has to be maintained.
Which the park board was aware of 3 years ago, but we couldn't get the trustees to come to an agreement or even talk to us about it on the park board. We just kept hearing, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I guess we're at that bridge because we didn't, it was kind of an arbitrary number. We didn't know what we were gonna have, you know, it was all in the planning stages and.
The whole thing's evolving, you know.
And now we've got a park, we've got a walking trail, we've got to maintain that. Now we're talking a pavilion, we gotta maintain that. You know, and if we continue a playground, we would have to maintain that. But I don't know if and when that'll happen, the playground, so. Sure.
Connie, right? I've talked to a lot of people in parks, Metro Parks, Cincinnati Parks, Green Township Parks, and there's ways that we can get donations, grants, and whatnot. And moving forward, that's what I hope to do. I hope to get an account set up, the Hamilton Fund, whatever, where we can get monies, donated towards the park. We can get grants put into the park. We're just crawling now. I hope to be walking by next year, and then maybe running towards the end of next year. But it's a slow go from what I'm finding out. But I've been talking to some people that have been knee deep into parks for many, many years, and I got some good ideas. They're just not. I'm just not ready to throw them out there yet. I got to get this first piece of business taken care of. But I think we'll be able to use a lot of that money for other things. You know, we'll try to get scouts involved with tree planting and whatever else comes down the pike. But I think this park will be self-sufficient, but it's not going to be able to maintain itself, if that makes sense. We're going to have to put the time in to do it. Somebody needs to manage everything that comes down through it. And I think we'll get there, just not right now. And I don't think anybody in this room's ever designed a park before, and it's going to be a slow go, but I'm not in the business of wasting tax dollars, so I'll. No, ma'am, not at all. I didn't take it like that. I'm just telling you, like, if I'm going to be here doing this, I'm going to try hard not to waste tax dollars. And that's all I got to say on it right now, because, like I said, I'm just getting into it. But it's interesting. I got a lot of interest in it, and I like it, so I'm going to get running with it here soon.
We appreciate that. Thank you, Darren. Yeah. Okay, Tina, you're done, all right?
Do you want,
Jeff?
I think he's got one, he might have one more.
so
Tom,
the motion is to approve paying the road and zoning employees and fire employee for the Morgan Township Community Park out of the general fund 1,000 at their current rate of pay.
Second?
Mr. Brucker,
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Is that it? Thomas? Okay.
I'm sorry, yes.
Now, Jeff?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the pavilion. Jeff and Debbie Rumpke were the primary contributors to building the pavilion. So I wanted to bring up the fact in the discussion that pavilion would continue to bear their name as far as being the beneficiary from them to the township.
And any addition is still retain their names, right?
Yeah, it would be, they stood up, they put the money up.
Right.
They should be recognized for the sizable contribution that they have made to this township. And I wanted to introduce a motion that would clarify that pavilion will be recognized as the Jeff and Debbie Rumpke Pavilion.
Is that the motion?
The Rumpke, it would be, for this is the discussion. It could
yeah,
be
okay.
recognized as the Rumpke Pavilion, the Jeff and Debbie Rumpke Pavilion, whatever we want to call that. If anybody's got some ideas, then throwing that on the table.
I mean, that makes perfect sense, Of course, then people, it's not asking for anything. And,
Right. Just recognizing
Right.
somebody who,
And
just
I-
like
Are
we
we,
do on
are you
everybody
talking
else.
about putting a plaque up or something like that, or naming the pavilion, or is that,
Yes,
did they
yes.
request that, or? I
No.
thought they wanted to be
No.
anonymous.
It would be appropriate to do that,
I know, but
Well, no, they did not,
Okay.
Kind of
they
out there
didn't
now.
request to be anonymous. They requested that the township just go ahead and use the money to benefit the township by.
did they earmark, they said specifically for the pavilion though, didn't they?
Yes,
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
of course.
That's fine, I don't have any problem with
Okay.
that.
yes.
So how would we want to identify the pavilion? Do we, with the Jeff and Debbie Rumpke Pavilion, the Rumpke Pavilion?
Jeff and Debbie, I think, because there's a lot of Rumpkes.
Did they want that? Do they want that notoriety?
They are fine with it.
Okay,
They are fine with it.
'Cause
So
other-
later on, we maybe get a plaque or something put on the building?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Right.
We'll probably have Lois make up something that would be appropriate to do that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and make the motion that the pavilion, as the construction continues and terminates, will be formally recognized as the Jeff and Debbie Rumpke Pavilion.
Second?
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Huff?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
yes,
Motion approved.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Tom? You?
I don't have anything.
I don't have anything. Any comments from the audience? Okay, I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn?
Second,
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Brucker?
yes,
Mr. Huff?
Motion adjourned, yes.
7:42.
7:42. Thank you.